We here, y'all. We live. And guess what?
The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these other sports podcasts live as a pros corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people start five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. Kid, we got what you need. If it's sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. Kid, we got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat stick. I got what you need.
All right, we back. We here. Each and every week we got what y'all need. This is your boy, the mayor, that DJ, named Ace5, your mom's favorite fat guy, all the way from a gray but deepest, darkest Africa. And we here with the newest episode of the Star 5. As always, hit that box next to Tyrone's head and go to hooksrub.com and get 20% off your order of hooks, rubs, and spices using the code starting 5. The homie Jared's gonna have some sauces coming soon. Sauces to dip your meats, the meats you eat, pause. especially them crow sandwiches that the homie likes to eat.
I don't like to eat them.
Well, what up, Tyrone?
Hey, what's up? Glad to be here. I'm glad to see we had a guest in the house. I like that. I like when guests are in the building because maybe one day one of them will be on my team. Or whatever. But yeah, I'm here and I'm ready to dish out some crow sandwiches.
Turn up. Well, today we got the brother who's been a returning guest. Been on several of our shows, many of our tournament shows, a lot of our fun, geek, nerdy news shows. Today we're going into the Manosphere, which is a place that we never really go to because, we are men, and we're men that like to talk sports. We like to argue about dumb shit, but we never cover the conversation that we're gonna have today. That I asked the brothers. And Tyrone, I asked y'all, did y'all want to know the question? And TJ said, you know what? Just let it wait. So later in the show, we're going to dive into some of the dumb shit that I've been hearing that I got questions on.
Oh, man.
But the man you're here screaming right now, introduce yourself. You know, we don't introduce people. We allow you to introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Corey Salty True Floyd from Amerime Media. I've been on here a few times. I'm always very thankful. Thank you for allowing me to come back on your show. I'm here to talk about this bullshit, I tell you.
So you don't even know what the bullshit is. That's the best part.
Bruh.
You don't even know what the bullshit is.
It's about the red pills, so there's layers to it.
Oh, there's many of them.
Like this motto. Stay ready and you ain't got to get ready. So
there you go. There you go. And that's kind of how we do it here. Because again, niggas been straggling on getting them topics in. But like we always do, we can fucking just talk about it 5 minutes from before we start. and we still gonna knock it out the park. But first and foremost, we gotta get through the sports stuff. Shout out to the brother Jamal. He's not gonna be on today. He's going to an awards thing. TJ should be running a little late. Big O, hopefully he's clocking in right now instead of sending us corny ass fucking not corny, but the homie be flooding the Instagram inbox with just everything. I mean, it don't even matter what the post is. It's just he be flooding it. But that's his job with us, I guess, which we still got to get on, Tyrone. We got to get on that like we said, the meme of the week type talk. We were supposed to been doing stuff like that, and we're gonna get it together. The network.
I'll send you some shit if you're looking for memes of the week.
the network, as we said. Oh, there we go. Now it got it right, because when I was pointing before, I didn't have it mirrored right because I was trying to point the right way, but I had to point this way to point the right way before. But anyway, we're here. First up, Colorado lost. I told you niggas to slow the fuck down. I told y'all slow down. I love celebrating the black man and the brother Deion Sanders. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I tried to remind y'all, like, this is Colorado. They haven't been shit since Cordell Stewart and Eric Bieniemy. And it's been a long time, Tyrone, that they've been something. But once again, we got bullshit rhetoric surrounding this whole thing and this whole loss, which they got mollywopped yesterday, Tyrone.
Here's my thing, right? So sports always balances out, right? Teams win certain games, Cinderella stories and all that, but they always come back to the balance, right? And my problem is not that Colorado came back to the balance, it's the way they came back now. You know what I mean? Losing is one thing, getting beat handily is another thing. What happened yesterday? Total demolition? You just don't want to, that's improper. But my problem is not with them even getting demolished, because did we expect them to be national champions? Did we expect them to get the college football playoffs? No. So I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying, to just get demolished though, that's kind of, I was thinking they would lose this game, maybe 2 touchdowns. But when I look up and it's 42-0, I'm like, God damn. But here's my problem with that is that, y'all, I'm from Philly. I see Gilly around the neighborhoods. I know Gilly the kid, like from seeing him around and stuff like that, and he's got the podcast and all that. But Gilly's all in full Colorado gear, and it's like, that's too fake for me. Like, you wasn't a Colorado Buffaloes fan. Now you in full Colorado gear, you going around preaching Colorado, putting on your Instagrams and all that. And yesterday, man, silent. Silent. And that's the saltiness that you get, bro. Don't bandwagon the shit. You be proud, like you said. Be proud, big them up, support your black brother. But when you jump on that bandwagon and that drone crash, it's what you get.
Mm-hmm. I agree with your point. I do think the loss was a balance, because them first couple games, people were actually rooting for him to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, almost on like a personal level. They wanted him to lose so bad, so when he comes out victorious, the third week, no one says anything. So it's like, all right, shut out. Like, that's just how the universe is going to do this. Like, all right, they wanted you to lose so bad. You're going to get these 2 wins, but then when no one says nothing, you got to take this L.
Yeah, and you know what?
Almost
from my point of view,
karma hit the mafia don. Listen, this time you got to take the fall.
My point of view is it's college football, and if there's any sport where it goes by that any given Sunday, or in college football's case, any given Saturday kind of motto, it's the NCAA. They are and can be the definition of anybody can get it. No bullshit at any time. Even Georgia, somebody gave Georgia a run for their money like a week or 2 ago. I think a week ago. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can get it at any time. But the problem behind like the Colorado hype is, like Tyrone said, the bandwagoners. Not a lot of people even paid attention to college football. But I look at it like this. That's kind of okay because it brings more eyes to the product. It brings more eyes to maybe somebody might say, oh, you know what? Yeah, now I like this school. Like, shout out to the homie Brian, UWO podcast, Blackfinity Gauntlet panelist this year. All of a sudden, Colorado was his squad. So when the UWO comes on this week, I want to see how he's going to talk about his Colorado Buffalo universities of the whatever that he calls them, right? I want to see how he talks about them because, yeah, he's not really a college football guy, but he was like, yo, fuck it. I'm rooting for this guy because everybody wants to see him fail. That was the thing, Corey. A lot of people just wanted to see him fail because he's getting all of this attention that they can't get. He's getting all this attention that they can't get.
But here's the problem, right? With all that attention, right? Then that puts the blinders on folks. The people who want to see him fail is blinded by what's going on.
Yep.
And the people that want to see him succeed is blinded by what's going on because nobody paid attention to the fact that even though Colorado won those games, their defense is terrible. And nobody talks about how bad their defense is. Their defense
is absolute
in college football. And nobody cared about to mention that. And now, because they lost, now all of a sudden their defense is exposed. Their defense has been getting killed the whole season.
Tyrone, because that's the difference between the bandwagon and people who love the game. Like I had to work, so I didn't get to watch it. But if I'm watching the game, like I described a week or two ago, I'm watching the game to watch the game, to understand the game, to learn the game, while everybody else is there for the hoopla, the glitz and the glamour and all that other shit. When you watch the game, you know that something like this is eventually going to happen to a team like that. They can't continue to ride the hot streak of Shedeur, you know, and it looks like by way of the score, it looks like Shedeur got taken care of. You know what I'm saying? It looks like Shiloh and them boys in the defense got cooked the fuck up. 42-6 was the final score. That's something that a football fan is going to recognize and realize that they had these problems, regardless of all the hype. But the main other problem behind this too is this. When these other coaches now have been taking these jabs at Deion, I don't know if y'all heard the video of the Oregon coach talking about like, yo, people they're playing for clicks. They're doing this for clicks and likes. We're playing to win.
Was he wrong? I kind of agree with that. I kind of agree with that. It seems like Deion's right, like they're riding the hoopla, man. That's how I feel about it too. Like they're not because nobody was discussing their defense being bad. Their defense been bad and nobody was discussing it. So when Deion's up there and they winning and Deion's talking, he's not saying, oh, the defense didn't play good today. We got to figure that out. No, he's up there taking credit for the wins, talking his shit, wearing his glasses, responding to these coaches and all the bullshit, the hoopla la, the clicks, the clickbait and all that. He wasn't talking about how bad his defense was playing. I never heard nothing about it. Even though I watched the defense play terribly the whole season. So, yeah, they playing for clicks. They is. I feel like that coach was correct in what he said to his team. And besides that, one more point. I don't care. Whatever a coach has to say to motivate his players, that's what the fuck he has to say to motivate his players. And that's
and to compound with that, that is what Deion Sanders has always fucking done. Why would, of course, Deion Sanders is going to bring up nothing but the positive shit in front of cameras and folks, but behind closed doors, that's where you'll hear the other side of the tape. Now, Deion doing it for clicks and all that, this is primetime Deion motherfucking Sanders. I don't think nothing about his attitude has changed. This is the same man who hit a home run and did a touchdown in the same week.
Right. And to be honest with you, it's not him doing all. He's just being himself.
Exactly. Everyone's acting
else
like this is some new shit.
Yes. Everybody
Right.
else is the ones projecting it. He's just being himself. And with him brings money, brings attention, brings notoriety, brings Wu-Tang to fucking Colorado, brings ESPN to talking to saying Key Glock on national television that he's at the game and all these other celebrities at the game. It's
Right.
his presence alone that's going to do that. But like Tyrone said, you still got, in a way of what Tyrone said, as a team, you have to back all that shit up. And like Dion said within the press conferences, like it's like these coaches and stuff are setting and talking like they're going against me. He's like, he said, I had my time and I had a hell of a career. I got a gold jacket in the back right now. I had my career. And many of y'all can't even touch my career. But
They
it's
can't.
we're on this page right now. And yeah, I hear it, but then I'm gonna bring it back to my boys like Big O down there, and then we gotta work it out.
Come on.
You got
They
the
are,
game
though.
on in the background.
They are though. They are going against Dion. You see what I'm saying? They're going against Dion. They're not going against Colorado. Nobody cares
Right.
about Colorado, the team, for real, because they
No,
know.
right.
The Oregon coach knows this team ain't like that because the Oregon coach ain't watching for what we watching for. He not watching the Dion show. He watching the team and he going, yo, their defense fucking stinks. He not like that. We don't have to worry about the team. All we gotta do is worry about Dion and his antics and his bullshit. We don't have to worry
And he
about
don't
the
even-
team because their defense stinks, bro.
And that's the thing. He don't even have the antics or nothing like. It's not him. It's not him. That's even. He's literally walking out there just being himself.
And they don't like
everybody,
that.
yes,
They
they
don't
don't.
like
But
the man with the swagger.
that's it. Big O must be the money.
That Oregon coach wanted to kill Colorado to take a shot at Dion. He didn't care about that team. He knew their defense was crappy because he watched what we watched.
That's it. What up, O?
He said,
What up, fellas?
Today.
What up, fellas? I don't know what y'all covered already, man, but it
We
look
just-
like y'all jump right into my topic right now, man.
Yeah, all we did was we just dove right into right into Colorado. Weed first.
Yeah, man. Yo, you know what it is, man? All these coaches have Colorado circled on the calendar. You know what I'm saying? They all want a piece of Dion. Pause. You know, they don't like like the swagger. They don't like the swagger. They don't like, you know, the bravado, and that's Dion. That's what we all grew up to. You know what I'm saying? Like Dan said, he's not showing us anything new.
At all. What did you say, Corey?
No, I was just co-signing him. I'm like, this is, as an Eagles fan since I was a child, by default I have to hate Dallas, but I have to respect great players. And Deion Sanders is a great player.
Was a great player.
Well, right now he's playing the game of coach. So he's still playing, just different parts of the team.
You know one thing that my brother. I'm sorry, hold on. Let me turn this. Let me turn this ass whipping down behind me. Man. just
the
getting
humanity.
But you know what my brother and I were talking about. I think a lot of these coaches are they low key scared. They low key nervous because Dion, with all his bravado, with all his swagger, he on commercials, he's doing everything or whatever, and we know that he belongs in the upper room of the Hall of Fame. It's the recruiting. Exactly. It's the recruiting. So all these big name players that were going to go to Georgia and go to Alabama, they're now going to give Colorado a look.
Eventually, yes. As long as he's there, it's eventually going to happen. But I the other angle I see too within this, Tyrone, is I see these coaches trying to take these shots or taking these shots because they also know, let's produce, let's play well, because we are going to get a prime time slot on television. to showcase our talents
Yes.
and showcase our abilities. So where, yeah, okay, you 5-star recruit, you're looking at Dion because he wants to, because he's got the style, he's got the flash and the flair. But look what we can do to them. Come play for us, and on prime time, by the way. You know what I'm saying? There's another edge to this that we can look at.
That's what I was
You think
about
they're
to
going to
say.
try and Suge Knight the weaknesses?
Well, no. What I was trying to say is that with the recruiting thing is that for me, if I had a son and ready to go to college, I tell him don't fall for that bullshit. Don't fall for that glitz and glam. You got a chance to go to a school, to Georgia or one of those good schools. Go there because the NFL recruiters don't give a fuck what Deion's saying. The NFL recruiters don't give a fuck what Deion do. They go in and they look at talent. They search all the schools. You know what I mean? They go in and they look at the talent. And I don't want my son to go to Colorado if I know that they playing crappy defense and nobody doing nothing about it. Let's say your son's a cornerback and they doing recruiting. You want them to go where they're not even with the defense playing like that? I don't. So I'm gonna tell my son, look, you might want to be in the hoopla with Deion. You might want to be dancing and all the bullshit. But when them NFL recruiters come, NFL recruiters come and you on that nut ass team that don't got no defense,
But here's something to that though, Tyrone, that was told to me when I didn't play high school football was you could be that one difference maker on that team. You know what I'm saying? Because I took the approach of I ain't playing. I was going to play my senior year, but then I started getting really good at my individual sport of shot put. So I got personally a little greedy in the head, and I said, yeah, you know what? Let me go try to kick ass over here. I'm doing good over here. Let me make my name as one person in the whole school that's actually bringing home medals. There wasn't really first place medals. A lot of second and thirds because the kid that was above me, my man Dan Diaz, was whooping my ass then. But I'm still finishing on the podium. I'm still bringing some notoriety to Port Richmond High School, whether people were paying attention to it or not, which a lot of people didn't because nobody knew track and field like that. But I was the one, but to where I wasn't the one difference maker on the football team where I didn't play. I was the one difference maker on my track team to where I, myself, and my boy Jason was scoring a majority of our team's points. So it kind of carries over within the same way of you can be that one person that could be the difference maker on a situation that could turn it, that could make the page flip. But the opening optics, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And then too, other teams have more historical prestige and stuff. Like you mentioned, Georgia. Georgia's still number one in the nation right now. I'm fuck Ohio State, but it would behoove you to not look at Ohio State if you want to try to get, be on the big time, shit like that. Oh,
and not to mention, man, Bo Nix showed the country something yesterday. He's a hell of a football player. And he really picked apart. I mean, yes, the defense is undersized. Both sides of the ball, as far as that line, they're both undersized. Especially that the offensive line got exposed yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Shedeur was running for his life yesterday. But Bo Nix is a hell of a player. It wasn't. I don't think it's so much that the defense played bad. I just think that he played well.
Okay.
To get whooped on 42-6 is a combination of your whole team sucked ass.
Wait. You don't think the defense played bad? Look at all the games of the season. The defense hasn't played.
Oh no. The defense is porous at best. The defense is porous at best. But Deion said, one thing Deion said, he was like, yo, this is the worst you're gonna see our team.
We hope.
You know what I'm saying?
He hopes. He hopes. But we had to get that out of the way real quick because they are the team to talk about, regardless whether they suck or they good. The
important thing is nobody was talking about these motherfuckers last year. Now everybody talking about them.
Yeah. But that's why you haven't been here when I've been saying it. That's why I said slow the hype train down a little bit.
I've been watching.
Slow the hype train down. You know what I'm saying? Slow it down just a little bit. I get it. We love the black man, and it's cool. But this is Colorado we talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hey,
it's
shout out to
just
Colorado State. Shout out to Notre Dame. Uh, shit. Where else? Black head coach. Shout,
I think Lovey Smith is still in Illinois, right?
I think so.
Yeah. There's a
okay.
lot of
Shout
black
out to
coaches
Illinois.
out there. There's a lot of black coaches out there, but they ain't prime time. That's just the one difference. it,
That's
it must not be the money for them. That's turning them on. But anyway, NFL games of the week, real quick. Last week, does anybody remember how we did schedule record wise? Because what was the games last week? Because I forgot to write them down, but I
Was the
do
Browns
remember the
and-
record. Actually,
I only remember the Browns and the Steelers because I'm waiting for O to fucking, put his chest out there.
so who won that game?
The Steelers won.
The Steelers won.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So,
Fucking Nick Chubb, boy. I
oh,
would.
oh,
You know.
I just grabbed my knee off of that one. Oh,
Yo, I
I'm
overheard.
legitimately holding my knee. Damn.
Yo, I
Ooh.
overheard my brother say, man, yo, never when you go on FanDuel or MGM Grand or whatever the case is, never put your money on a running back, man. And yeah, I put my bread on Nick Chubb, and of course he blows his knee out. You know what I'm saying? First half. So yeah, there's that. But
Yeah. But yeah, we took that. Who picked the Browns with me? I know I picked the Browns. I think
Everybody
TJ picked the Browns.
I think everybody
No.
picked the Browns.
And we clown. No, everybody picked the
Somebody
Browns.
picked Steelers.
We picked the Steelers and we clowned them about
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah.
You talking shit on him.
And then what was the Sunday night game? No, that was the Sunday night game, right? Browns Steelers. Then what was the Monday night games?
Was it the Saints and the Panthers?
Saints and Panthers.
Yeah, that was Saints and Panthers, and then it was Browns and Steelers on top of that. I forgot who the Sunday night game was.
Yeah, well, I know.
Patriots and the
I
Dolphins?
think yes, because you picked the Patriots.
Yeah.
I think Jamal and O picked the Patriots, and only TJ and I picked the Dolphins. And then the Saints game, I think we might have all went clean sweep for the Saints.
No, I picked the Panthers trying to be different.
Oh yeah.
So I lost that.
Yeah, you took a bad one this week. You took a bad one this week. But
Yeah.
this week's games of the week, as I just scroll over, if you lose my face for a second, sorry. We have Steelers Raiders. Tomorrow night's games, we have Eagles Bucks and Rams Bengals. So as far as picking, as we get this out of the way, Corey, if you want to join in on this week's games of the week picks, it's up to you. Where are we going to start? We're going to start Sunday night. We're going to start Monday night. Oh, you were late. You pick first.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm trying to bring it up now. So tonight's game is Pittsburgh and Las Vegas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, Kenny Pickett has not been impressive, man, so far, man. But having said that, I do find it difficult, man, to even though he did miss the playoffs last year. I find it difficult to pick against the Tomlin team, just like I find it difficult to pick against the Belichick team. So I'm going with the Steelers on this one.
Tyrone.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I just don't have no confidence, no faith in the Raiders to do anything. It just seems like that ship is going downhill. So I'm just gonna go with the Steelers because at least they got good coaching, like O said.
Corey, you mixed it up with that alcohol and bad picks.
They should have never left Oakland. I'm going with Pittsburgh.
All right, so I'll be the one detractor, and I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Couldn't have a clean sweep, boy. Okay.
Better offense. I still don't know what we're gonna get out of these damn Pittsburgh Steelers at the end of the day. I still believe Tomlin is not going to finish with a losing record, but I think tonight they're gonna end up taking the L. So then it brings us to the first game of Monday night. My Eagles versus the Bucks. No long talking. You know where I'm going. And we're gonna go back around as Corey fucking mixes another piece out, another alcohol in the cup. Eagles, Bucks. Where are you going? Corey, the pick is on you.
On the road to victory, baby, Eagles.
There you go. And you know it's funny. I know Tyrone, you probably gonna pick against us just off GP. I turned on the radio. Actually, I'll save this point for the New Yorker, but it's your pick, Tyrone.
I don't want to pick the Eagles. It's almost like it burns my throat. But I'm going Bucks. I can't even get it out. I'm saying Tampa Bay gonna win tonight because I've been hating.
Okay.
It's just plain old hate.
Now, it could be more hate too, but hate this. I turned on the radio to drive home last night. Chuck Chillout's still on the radio. And why am I hearing the Eagles fight song on WBLS? And he played it at the end of his show. And he said, we going 3-0. I said, I'm sorry, Chuck Chillout, for all the slander that I've been throwing at you over the years for bad scratching and offbeat scratching that you've been doing. You my friend again, because you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
You know what? Baker Mayfield has yet to throw interception this early season. It's gonna happen tomorrow. I'm going with the Eagles, man. And it burns it, like I said, it burns my throat. No, it burns. It burns my throat to say it, man.
I had a little mini heart episode because I thought he was going to use Baker Mayfield as a reason to pick Tampa Bay. I was like, oh, when he started out with Baker Mayfield, I was like, oh, what is he going to say?
he hit the Elizabeth. I'm coming to see you, honey.
I'm coming to see Elizabeth.
This is the big one.
As I have the blue draped over my back. I'm picking the Eagles with this one, man. Because I had to pick one of them.
As we was about to say before, Tyrone was about to hit the upper room. But last but not least, what was the other one? Bengals and what was I'm trying to pull it up. I'm sorry, y'all. Bengals Rams, a Super Bowl rematch of 2 years ago. Or 3 years ago.
This is gonna be a hell of a game. Because the Bengals are desperate. The Bengals are going to treat this game like a playoff game. You know, because they cannot go 0-3. You know, so yeah, this is going to be a good game. I don't even know. I couldn't tell you who I got. You know, right now, ESPN is saying 65-34 as far as matchup probability, matchup predictor. So, but it's going to be a good game, man. I don't know.
Tyrone?
I got the Bengals because it's do or die time right here, and the Bengals got it. It's almost like a must win for them just to even keep the perspective up of them being contenders. Because right now people are starting to drop off on them. They're looking bad, and they got to hold the standings up over there in that AFC because they still got Buffalo, they still got Kansas City, they still got teams over there that's looking. The Ravens, they got teams over there that's looking to knock them off. And they can't be looking soft now. And they got the Rams, which is a team that should be beatable. This is one of those games on paper that you should win. So the Bengals, they need to show and prove. So I'm going to take Cincinnati.
Corey?
You're right. On paper, the Bengals should win. But the reality is they're going to be taking another loss. I'm going with Los Angeles for the win for this one.
Not me. I'm going with Tyrone. I'm going with the Bengals because of everything he said, everything Big O said. This is must-win kind of territory for Cincinnati. And you know what this game means? This game means less as far as Super Bowl contention is concerned. You know what I'm saying? And what happened the last time when they should have beat the Rams. These Rams are playing above where I thought they should be. But Bengals' desperation to get something on their board in the victory column is of high priority right now. So I'm rolling with the Bengals. I'm definitely rolling with the Bengals on this one. But that's it.
Well, we'll have to see.
When we if anybody else comes through, like I said, we started late because CJ is supposed to be coming in late. They'll let them make their picks whenever they get here. But yeah, this week is going to be a bunch of, if y'all got questions that you want to add in, y'all are free to add in. If we get anybody else to come view the show, if you want to ask us questions. But this one, I had a bunch of just question of the week kind of full in my brain. And the one question I did give to y'all via the inbox, I didn't give it to you, Corey, was we're going to talk some rap music right now. And if any of y'all two, either one of y'all two could pull up the group chat to show Jamal's picks, because he gave us a list of joints for this question. I can't do it right now because I'm using my phone. But the question is there any song, think of any song where you think somebody else could have done better over that beat? And the reason why I thought of this question is because I plan on starting like a TikTok series talking about rap songs, albums, rappers that a lot of people thought were whack, sucked, giving them a fair chance. And I caught myself 2 or 3 times this week listening to You God's first album, Golden Arms. The masses don't like You God. I love the album. But as I sat and listened while I'm on my drive to work and I'm listening to the lyrics, I'm trying to make it all make sense. Like, that's just where it's at. Because You God can rap. But when you listen to the lyrics closely, it's like, what is he rapping about? And I get it where a lot of people think he sucks. And so I'm listening to one of the first singles, which was like the second song on the album, Turbulence. And I was like, I love this shit. Because the way he's just flowing on it. His lyrics ain't making a lick of sense, but he's just flowing on it and it works. But I hear Inspector Deck killing this. And then I go to the next song. I forgot what the next song was. I might have to pull it up and you might lose me for a second. But I go to the next song, Glide. And Inspector Deck, I believe, made Glide. I hear Inspector Deck over his own beat. And then I hear the song That's Gangster. And if y'all could go back and listen to that one on your own, that beat right there, again, You God is flowing. He's just, the flow attached to the beats works. But lyrically, he leaves me like, what the fuck are you talking about? like what are you talking about?
Okay, so I haven't heard that. I haven't listened to the album, right? Is this something like Supreme Clientele? Because Supreme Clientele, we don't know what the fuck Ghostface is talking about.
No,
But
see,
the shit
Supreme
sound hot.
But Supreme Clientele, I do know what he's talking about. As my boy called it, he called that dusthead rap. He calls that style dusthead rap. But when you really listen to the songs, it's a different form of storytelling. It makes sense because you can piece it together to put the picture together. The way You God was kind of rapping on this album, like it gave me like Camp Low vibes, where like Camp Low is just saying a lot of shit, but it sounds dope. But it's like, what are they saying? Oh, they just talking that 70s stuff. They talking that, but okay, but what 70s stuff? Paint this picture for me and make it make sense. But I love listening to it. It's like, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying none of this shit is whack, but people think You God is whack. And listening to those beats, I heard tons of rappers, that could have murdered this with a song that felt cohesive, that made sense. But I will say this about You God, and then y'all can go and add in what y'all think on some questions. He could have been a hell of a hook guy, because his hooks were good. His hooks are on point. But the rest of the song,
you got the voice for it too.
Yeah, killer voice. But it was just like, I can't even remember the lyrics to try to recite something to give to y'all to be like, yo, like, but I hear better rappers over some of his beats. What's some joints that y'all think of that you hear this song, but you think, this person would have killed it? Like for
I,
instance,
I'm.
I'll give
Go
you
ahead, go
one
ahead.
more. My bad. I'll give you one more, and then I'll shut up. The joint that Alchemist had the problem with Razkaz over. The we gonna make it. We gonna make it. Where he gave it to Kiss and Stop Kiss. I like Razkaz's version better than Jadakiss's.
Wait. I'm sorry. Rascal's got a versus to that.
Razkaz had the beat first.
Get the fuck out of here.
Razkaz, I got it on vinyl too somewhere, but Razkaz had the beat first. But Alchemist did the old okey doke and gave it to him.
Mm.
But then Kiss wanted it, gave it to him, and Kiss put it out before
Wow.
people recognized that the Razkaz joint was already out, but nobody recognized it or noticed it. Never got played in the mainstream ear like Jadakiss.
Oh shit. Okay, that's news to me. But I was to you know to go back to You God real quick. I don't think I dislike You God because I liked him on Wu Tang Forever. I just liked the other guys more. It wasn't so much I dislike You God, but if I had I loved all of them. But You God, I just liked, I
That's
liked the
gonna
other
happen,
ones more than him.
and that's gonna
You know,
happen in the group.
the,
yeah.
the problem,
So I don't know if most people dislike him. Like you said, he should have found his niche and stuck with it.
I
And
think,
that was the only thing I feel that the RZA dropped the ball on. He should have said, hey, listen, you should have been like fucking Split Star. You should have been a Split Star of the group.
Just
You know what I'm saying? And that was
because
it.
he light skinned, you saying that because he light skinned? Yeah, you talking
Nah,
shit,
because he's a
Tyrone.
hook guy. Be the hype man. Well, not so much the hype man, but the hook guy.
What did you say, Tyrone?
I think that I essentially think that You God kind of might have quit because y'all understand when all the people that went solo, when Jizza went solo, when Method Man went solo, when Raekwon and Ghostface started doing their thing, there was a ton of promotion on them because they was backed by Def Jam and they all had tons of promotion. Geffen and all of those record labels, they had tons of promotion on them. And You God never got promoted as a solo artist. When he did his project, half of the people never even knew he had an album. He never
Yeah.
was promoted as a solo artist, and I think that might have like salted him a little because he just kind of stopped. He just kind of like how Method Man went on Ghostface's album, they did features with each other stuff. You got kind of like wasn't
Yeah,
around.
but he's got he's got albums out there. He's got albums out there. And
no
to what you
promotion.
mentioned,
I'm sorry, you said albums like
yeah,
plural?
he's got many of albums. This is a part of what I call the hip hop lazies. When you stop hearing shit within mainstream ear and don't even go and look for artists. Like another person thinking just like that. Because I was gonna mention, I was like, even Inspector Deck kind of got lost in the sauce with that, but even Inspector Deck kept going and put out banging
Czarface.
and put out banging solo albums, then evolved into the Czarface situation.
Mm,
But you remember the group Crew,
yeah.
the Dirty 30? I love bringing up to people that don't listen to Chatty O. Chatty O's been and still been spitting and been dropping shit over the years. But you don't know that unless you go digging for it. If you get what I'm saying.
But here's my problem with that though, right? You God was in Wu-Tang Clan. So he was not an artist that I felt like I had to go digging for. He was an artist that I felt like if he had some shit out, that the Wu-Tang would promote him, that he would be on somebody's single, somebody would be on his single, that we would hear something. So when we don't hear nothing, I'm like, oh, You God ain't rapping no more because of who he's affiliated with. I would think that he would call Method Man and go, get on this single with me, put this out there, help me out. You know what I mean? So something happened there where You God was disconnected from the group.
I feel what you're saying.
Okay.
I feel what you're saying. But it's always not. It's kind of like we'll spin this to wrestling for a quick second. It's kind of like when a wrestler gets told, "Go out there, get yourself over." The machine ain't gonna always push you, but you got to get out there and get yourself over. i.e., LA Knight, or as I still like to call him, Eli Drake. They don't want that. They don't want that man on top the way he's talking that shit right now.
Who didn't
But he went out there. He went out there and sold himself and got himself over.
Facts.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Who from the Wu-Tang Clan didn't get the machine didn't back though?
Well, from your perspective of not being backed, in your point of view of not being backed, the way you described it, you could say Deck, you could say Master Killer, you could say You God, who all three of them have multiple albums. Kappa, after the Pillage album, yeah, you can kind of say that. But they all have multiple albums out there. It's just the personal, you as a person, where did your fandom stop for checking for them? I get what you mean. I get what you mean. You want to see the promotion. You would hope the promotion is out there. But also, bringing it back to wrestling, Matt Cardona, you got kicked off the WWE. You might not be getting the same attention that you got before. But what did you do? You went out there and worked and sold yourself and got yourself over to where now he's one of the kings of the indies.
Capadonna
you do the same thing as a rapper.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. Capadonna was back. Capadonna was put on other people's shit. Method Man was back. They put his single out on their group album before he became a solo artist. So why is it that You God wasn't back? Why is it that Master Killer and
he was? And if you listen to the album, Meth is on there, Deck is on there. The Wu makes their presence on the album.
So why
on the first album?
But they had the ability to put them singles out there to the world. They did not.
They did. Fans didn't like it. They didn't. It comes back to the fans.
I never heard a You Guys single put out ever. I found his album, but I never found it.
This wasn't supposed to be a You Got conversation, but let's keep going. Let's keep going.
I have a question though. I have a question. How much of this is it like your personality, your persona, your everything, all that plays a part? Like Method Man, I think of Method Man, Raekwon, Ghostface with the evil arm and all that shit. Like these are the guys that I think about. They're the whole fucking brand is what I think about when I think about Wu-Tang. You God doesn't really have anything that stands out. Master Killer's a hell of a rapper. Genius Jizza is a hell of a rapper. You know what I'm saying? But it's nothing that really stands out and made me think like, okay, yeah, I need to see, da da da.
Jizza is a great example too, because it's another person with a lot of albums, and I forgot the name of which album, but again, on the level of promote yourself and push your shit, there was one album where he put out like a producer contest to get people's beat. Like if you want to get on this album, submit some shit and you get featured, and the word was out there. But it all comes down to you as a fan. How deep are you looking? How far down are you looking? Are you still paying attention to this artist? Because if you're paying attention to it, you're going to see the promotion. If you're not paying attention to him, you're not going to see the promotion. Yeah, Tyrone, and I'm going to speak to the side. What you're saying is not that wrong, but not everybody is going to get that major push. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to get that major push to where it goes back to how much do you want it? Matt Cardona. That's why I could tie the two together like that. How much do you want it? You know what I'm saying? As a all these people, which we could talk about briefly in a little bit, all these people who just got cut from the WWE, how bad will they want it now that they're not in the WWE? How bad do you want it as a fan of a rapper that you thought you liked? And how much do you go look for it? A lot of the onus, yes, we want to see promotion, but a lot of the onus comes back on the fan itself. How much do you follow?
If you want it, you got to work for it.
Yes,
it is.
The artist has to do the legwork
both ways.
That's what no one is saying. The artist got to do the fucking legwork, man. And the artist, you got to look beyond Apple Music. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see it on the Apple Music, you got to look for it.
Then shout outs to the homie Tracy Lee. The homie Tracy Lee is putting out another album. And what does
Didn't
he
he
do?
see
What does he do?
Tracy Lee? I'm sorry, Tracy Lee is a perfect example. His first album, to me, it personified 90s rap. It was a hell of an album. Love that album. And but it wasn't thrown in my face that Tracy Lee come up with an album. I forgot about Tracy Lee. Come to find out, this motherfucker come up with like he got like 3-4 albums out there.
And me, HHDG Media, we did an album release party for one of his albums.
Wow.
With his warning, expect the unexpected album. He's been spitting from the Esquire album to his Glory album to Expect the Unexpected. He's got a new joint coming out, but the thing is he's speaking directly to his fan base by way of he doesn't throw his albums up on streaming right away anymore. You got to go to TracyLeeMusic.com first to get it, and then eventually he puts it on streaming. Because you service the masters of your fan base that fucks with you heavy first. You know what I'm saying? And You God is of that era before all of this streaming shit, before all of that stuff where, we were still thinking you need label promotion, like Tyrone said. It's like nothing Tyrone said was wrong. He was of that era of we were looking for, as fans, we looked for the label promotion because that's what we came up off of. Street teams, posters, some commercials. You might get on BET, you might get on this video show. It was of that era to where the independent underground artists, they did their shit by doing the local shows here and there, pushing their mixtapes on the street here and there. But an artist that is coming from one of the world's largest group, the best group ever, argue with your mama, you would think that every member, like Tyrone said, you would think that every member would get some kind of label backing and push.
Well, fuck the label. Fuck the label, though.
That's what we're saying, too.
I'm saying, no, I'm not even talking about the label in general. I'm talking about, see, for me, I feel like if I'm you guys, or if I'm one of the Wu-Tang members that's not Method Man, not Ghostface, didn't get that push from the label, I don't give a fuck about the label. If I'm you guys and I'm trying to sell albums, I know that at that time, like you said, there wasn't streaming services, there wasn't, YouTube and all the shit that he can go through to get his album promoted, right? So how you get promoted at that time was you have a hit single that you can send the radios to play. You have a hit single that somebody can get to that can give word of mouth, right? So if I'm you guys, I'm saying, yo, Meth, can you jump on this song with me? Because the radio will play you. So Method,
right. I get
this single on the radio, and then when they hear that single, it's Method Man and you guys. Oh, this song is on you guys' album, though. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Why was there none of that?
It didn't feel like there was that, but go ahead, Corey. Go ahead, Corey.
What was your original question?
We're gonna get back to it, Corey. No problem.
I remember having an answer.
The original question wasn't about you, God. You, God, was the example.
Okay. Right. But no. My question to Tyrone is, who's to say that didn't happen?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who's to say that might have happened, and Meth, for whatever reason, or RZA being the head of Voltron, would say, hey, I don't think that's a good look. We don't know. We're all speculating. You know what I'm saying? So
one day Vice will put out the dark side of hip hop, and maybe this will be one of the stories.
Yo, I can't wait, man. Yo,
I feel like that's definitely a thing.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna set my DVR for that shit.
But look, y'all asking how many? All right. See, what is it? He's got a single with Meth, but he's got a number of albums. As I'm sitting here looking at, You God in WWA, Jizza, You God single. There's a lot of singles coming through, but You God has a few albums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums after 7 albums that I can read total. But that's not the question. Thank you for trying to bring it back home, Corey. The original question was what's some songs out there over rap's history that you think another rapper would have done justice over? Because the other example, and we're not going to rabbit hole or dovetail further into this, a lot of people love the Group Home album, but a lot of people don't think anything rap wise of Malachi the Nutcracker and Lil Dap, where that's another one. I ride to that album every few months just off GP. Lyrically, the songs are good because, as they said, they're doing ghetto rhyme stories, they're doing ghetto street tales and shit like that. But a lot of people think that that's some of Premier's top-notch beat making. So a lot of people would think other people would kill those beats over them too. That's the question. What's some songs that like you think you can hear somebody else over that would kill it? And that's why I asked if one of y'all could pull up our Instagram chat and see what Jamal wrote down and
I
give
have
some
it.
of Jamal's.
I have it right here. I
Okay.
have it right here. So Jamal said deep cover by Dre, big over that Dre beat of deep cover. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
I think I heard it. I think Flex played some BIG over that beat. You know, from one of his old shits.
Give me another two. This is just to jog everybody's mind into thinking. Like, give me another two.
Okay.
Jamal put down.
Okay, so he also said Hot Text on a Platter, Trap Called Quest, Grand Pooba
Yeah,
over that.
yeah.
I
I
agree.
think he would have killed. I think he would have killed the verse or two over that joint.
Yes.
Grand Pooba of that era. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Soliloquy of Chaos. I don't know the song by Gangstar.
Yeah,
Nas.
Nas almost over any Premier beat in my opinion would work.
Is perfect marriage. Perfect marriage. How You Living. Okay, yes. This one, this is my shit right here. How You Living, Nas and AZ, Ghost and Ray. I can see that.
That's
I
like
can see that.
that's
So
like a
that's one of my
lyric.
favorite AZ joints right there. Investigative Reports. I can see this one too. Jizza, Rakim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Warriors
So there-
Drum. I don't know.
King Just. Hey y'all, can I get some? The sound of the Warriors drum on the warpath. Don't make me laugh, because you never in your life want to ever see the God laugh. Come on, that's Staten Island right there. Let's go.
And that's Old Dirty Bastard. You said Old Dirty Bastard for that.
Yeah, he could have did a hook. But go ahead, Corey. There's some examples right there.
actually have two. One, just because I know this I might lose y'all on this one, but I would replace Del the Funky Homo Sapien in Gorilla's Clint Eastwood
Okay.
with Andre 3000.
No. I could see him pairing with them. You can't replace Della on that joint. You can't. I feel
That's me.
I feel what you're getting.
Wow.
That's your pick. That's your pick.
You straight up said no though. That's not, you just be like, no, that ain't it.
I like 3000 is 3000. He would work well with the Gorillas.
No,
He has
my
worked
opinion,
with the
my
Gorillas.
no.
He has worked with the Gorillas.
Go ahead, Tyrone.
Listen, man. We've done shows. Tyrone, Corey, I don't know if you know, man, but we've done shows on Andre 3000, man. So when we talk about Andre 3000, I just sit back and I don't comment.
Corey got another one. He said he had two.
Go ahead.
Damn it. What was the designer song? Shit.
Panda?
Yeah, but I forgot who. Damn.
Pop Smoke could do that Panda beat.
Yes, that's what I was thinking about.
There you go. All right, that was that
Yes.
that dark ass voice.
Yeah,
That dark
Yeah.
ass voice over
that's
that beat.
exactly what I was thinking about. Thank you.
Pop Smoke could do that Panda beat.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the
Rest
young
in
man.
peace.
Mhm.
Yeah, word. Go
Mm-mm-mm.
ahead, Tyrone. What
For
you got?
me, when you said this question and I had to think about something, I just immediately went to the Pump It Up, the Joe Buttons Pump It Up. Now,
Stop.
I hate Joe Buttons. Everybody know it.
If you paid attention to
There's
his
it,
Instagram, we
But
heard this rant already.
there's plenty of reasons to hate Joe Button.
This has nothing to do with my personal problem with Joe Buttons, though. This has something to do with that beat. I always like that Pump It Up beat, but if you listen to the lyrics and you listen to what Joe Button's saying on that song, it's a bunch of nonsense. It's not. The lyrics on that song is kind of corny, kind of whack, but the beat gets you. So I always thought about that song as, damn, if somebody else had this beat, somebody would do better on it. And I don't know, but my mind goes back to Redman. And I always keep thinking, like, if
Oh,
Redman
Redman would
had that Pump It Up
Redman
beat.
would have
He
murked
would
that
kill it.
joint.
Right.
He would kill it.
That's
He would
what
kill
I'm
it.
thinking about. Redman with the Pump It
He
Up
would
beat.
kill it.
That's
Yes,
where my mind went.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. He would kill it.
Redman would have called it "fuck it up." Fuck it up.
Redman would have murked that joint.
Yo,
Yeah.
so check it out. So check it out. Lyrics to Go, Tribe Called Quest. One of my favorite songs off my favorite album, Midnight Marauders.
Minnie
Outkast.
Riperton.
Ooh.
I got lyrics to go.
I could just sit and keep that instrumental on loop, but I'm trying to hear Big Boy and Andre over it. And irony that you say that
Big Boy can
because
take a seat. Big Boy can take a seat.
no, stop.
I can hear
People-
them both doing "Can I Kick It?"
Yes, you can. But
Mhm.
nah, niggas need to stop sleeping on Big Boy. I'm sorry.
No.
No, you know what happened with that? I'm gonna tell you what happened with me with Big Boy, right? I liked Outkast. I was a fan. And then I bought the speaker box and Love Below. You know their little thing, the double album with
Mhm.
the speaker box and Love Below, right? And I was like, I
The
listened to
rapping
Love
R&B
Below.
double CD.
Well, I'm listening to Love Below, and I'm like, Andre 3000 was tripping, right? I thought that, but then I kept listening to Love Below, and then it kind of Love Below put speaker box so out of my car that I just was sour on Big Boy after that. I never really went back to Big Boy because I was just like, how does Andre surpass? Like it just got in my head that Andre was the superior one, and it just threw Big Boy on the back burner for me because Love Below.
You know what I think?
Right out my car window, bro.
You know what I think? You know what I think though, because that's a lot of people. But I think it's because people accepted a new concept and a new style from an artist, where Big Boy gave you that rap shit,
Mm-hmm.
that speaker box.
He gave
and
you
then,
that
I said,
808.
and then you gotta stop sleeping on Big Boy because, again, out of the duo, he's the one still putting out albums, and he hasn't put out a bad album yet.
Same old Jets lose to the Patriots again. Final score 15-10.
That's all right. Close game. Was no blowout. Close game. But yeah. Who got more? Because I opened the show with mine. Like I can hear people, and there's just too many. There's just too many people I can hear. Like that. If y'all go listen to that's Gangsta song from You God, like I can hear MOP tearing that up. And if you need to question the beat, look it up on your thing and play it out loud like you do when we did the wrestling theme songs, just to catch wind of what it is. You can hear MOP. That's Gangsta. DAT as apostrophe S Gangsta from You God. But MOP would fucking rip that joint. And I mean Fame and Dance, but you could think of just Little Fame alone or Billy Dance alone on that joint, and they're killing. But anybody else, while he's looking it up, who got some others, and then he'll get back to some of Jamal's other picks. Who got something else? Corey, I see your brain's working. Or is the alcohol working?
All right, it's a little bit of both. There was one song. When I used to be in college and I played the radio, people would request this song, and I fucking hated it just because I hated her delivery. Foxy Brown's Candy. I'm
sorry.
It always just bothered the shit out of me, and I was just like, in the back of my mind, I was just like, I feel like MC Lyte would have done this better.
Okay.
MC Lyte would have probably killed about 95% of Foxy Brown's beats because she's just a better rapper than Foxy Brown.
This is also true.
I'm gonna pick one that I picked way back in the day off of the subject. I just picked this way back in the day because I was in my Wu-Tang bag and I kept thinking about this, right? But not to take nothing away from Tribe, not to take nothing away from the New School, but I always thought if the Wu-Tang Clan would have had Scenario, what that would have been like. I always thought about that too, like because the way Tribe and Leaders of New School did it, I was like, Wu-Tang could do this. Like
protect your neck. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Like we did that already.
But that just go to show you, boy. You know the rapper Hood could have been part of the Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? Because he was the only one.
Remix. You're thinking the remix.
Okay. Yeah.
You're thinking the remix.
Scenario. Yeah, that would have been. Whew.
The scenario remix though.
I don't think.
But I'm thinking like the original Scenario, even when it came on, it had the Wu-Tang feel when it was like doom 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 doom. They like had like a Wu-Tang feel to me.
Yeah, I hear Wu-Tang over the original more than the remix.
Yeah, over the original.
I hear more
the remix more, man.
The remix, like I hear some Wu Block type shit. Like I hear Ghostface, Raekwon, Meth, and like Sheik and Styles over the remix. No Jada. Just their voices would fit that better, in my opinion. No Jada. No shots at Jada, but I hear like that. But what's some more Jamal put on?
Hold up. So I got the song I'm about to play right now. I'm gonna see if y'all can hear it.
Put it closer to the mic a little bit. I hear it, but
I don't know why I thought that song was "The Boy Is Mine." Like, what the hell?
I had to take out my Bluetooth real quick. But yeah, that's it. Okay. I can hear that.
He's about to say Brandy didn't fuck that up, man.
But you can hear MOP over that, right?
I can hear him. I definitely hear MOP over that. Yes. So Street Pharmacist, Ninth Prince. I don't know if I know that song. Over Doom doing that song.
I'd have to go back and hear that beat to hear it.
Street Pharmacist, yeah. Like you and I know, like we do.
Ninth Prince is RZA's brother.
Did not know that.
I believe Ninth Prince is RZA's brother.
Did not know that, man. But them three carried the Wu, man. Him, RZA, and Mathematics. Let me see here.
What are you talking about? Ninth Prince was in Killer Army.
He wasn't a producer?
Ninth Prince was in Killer Army. I think he did learn to make beats from his brother. I would hope so through osmosis. But but Inspector Deck was the real big killer. But RZA Mathematics was like the ones who really set the table for the Wu.
Okay.
But
I always wanted to hear Eminem over the Niggas in Paris beat.
Saying niggas in Paris though?
No, not singing niggas in Paris. No. In the words of Dikembe Mutombo, no.
Oh shit. But all right, you know what? We've done enough brain farting for the day because it was interesting. I just wanted to see y'all points on what some joints. Even though this turned more into a Boca U-God debate, but whatever. U-God got some love on this episode. You know what I'm saying?
Don't bring up Wu-Tang around me. Cause I know all
You say, yo, you got to always get stuff with me, man.
Word.
I wish a
Because
gaming
he's
company
part
would put
Wu-Tang.
in the effort and redo Shaolin style, but that's a conversation for another day.
Which, if another fun fact, if y'all didn't fucking remember this, because again, it seems like y'all might not remember this. When you put that game in the CD player, if y'all remember the era of PlayStation 1 discs, and they always had hidden tracks on some of these joints. Like the first time I ever heard it was on Tomb Raider. My boy put Tomb Raider in a CD player, and you was able to get some of the music from some of the levels off the CD.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
On the Wu-Tang Shaolin style game, when you put that game in a CD player, there was a song. No, you God did the. It was Rumble. Rumble was the song, and you God did the. Was on the hook of that joint. Rage, rock, roll, rumble, like that song. I'm if you listen to other that song made it on, I forgot what soul album or it's released as a single, but it was on that game. That song and another song was on that game CD. So if you can find it, buy it, put it in a CD player if you still got a CD player, and check it out.
Do you know what a CD player is, kids?
Right? But now, let's get to the main event. Let's dive into this is the place that Big O has been trying to get us. Occasionally, here and there, he's been asking us things like on some like, y'all know the red pill, the manosphere way of thinking. That Kevin Samuels, that the other guy who was arrested for fucking what was it, transporting
Andrew
women
Tate.
or whatever. Yeah, Andrew Tate. The other fucking what's the Jackson dude, Derek Jackson, the guy that had to do the fucking interrogation video
He's
with
not
his
even
wife
a red
next to him.
pill,
Shit.
but damn it, he might as well line him up with the rest of these dumbasses.
The type of question that I had in my head, I hear a lot of people comment on, and I say it red pill because you hear this kind of talk in those type of arenas. The people who think they're alphas, the people with egos. This is really the best way I could put it. People with hella egos, and people who, just in my opinion, can't think like an adult. The question is the importance of the body count. Because a lot of people, and I've been hearing this on recent podcasts and been hearing things like this over the years and stuff like that, and talking about if you with a woman and you happen to be in an area that you might not know and it looks like the whole hood hit it and yada, yada, yada. Does that shit even matter? Because let's keep it real. Like, unless you are dating a virgin, you are with somebody who has had sex before. Who the fuck cares who they had sex with before you? Other than, family. You know what I'm saying? Like, outside of that, like, if, you knock down my brother or some shit, then I know to stay away because I'm an adult. Okay, you've been my brother, cool. I make an adult decision to move the fuck on.
Well,
but it'd be like other women where, dudes think like, a woman that might have slept with maybe 30, 40 people. Not forgetting the fact that you, the dude, might have slept with 50, 60 people, but that don't count for us men. That shit don't count for us men. But the body count conversation, Tyrone, is the one that I want to have. Does that shit even matter? Unless you carrying on a fucking, nah mean, you know what I'm saying? And you got threats to passing it, like that shit don't fucking matter if you're an adult.
I have two major things to say about that. The first thing is it all goes back to the narrative of not being able to turn a hoe into a housewife. And the fact of the matter is, I lived with a stripper for 2 years, right? And she was a stripper. whole persona, whole everything, you know, sex on deck for money, all of that, right? And I lived with this woman for 2 years, and she was probably the best housewife that I ever had. As far as coming home, as far as making dinner, as far as doing my laundry, making sure my drawers was clean, making sure I ate, making sure I was straight, taking care of me as a man. She was excellent. You see what I'm saying? So that whole persona and that whole she's a whore, she's a hoe, she can't be a housewife shit is not the real mentality of these women that fuck a lot. You know what I mean? It's just not their mentality. Number two thing I gotta say, it kind of matters depending on at what time frame of this woman's life you meet this woman. Because I know for a fact, you know, I started laying pipe at 14, right? So if I'm fucking a 14-year-old girl and we both 14, then she started fucking at 14, right? So when she's 30, then you're muted. When she's 30 and she wasn't married or nothing, right? Then you gotta assume that she been fucking for 14 years. And she
I
never
said I'm glad.
I
said I'm glad you said y'all both for 14.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying. No, I said I was 14 first, Dan. So don't go there. I said I was 14 first. Okay. So, but
I'm about to say I'm not. I don't want to be an accessory, man.
No,
that's why I said I'm glad you made that clarification.
I'm just saying, as a man, right? You gotta understand when you started fucking, right? So you gotta assume that girls started fucking your same age. So if you meet a woman that's 30 years old and you go and you have these conversations with her, like, how's your background? If she says, hey, I was married for 8 years and I fucked 60 niggas in between that time, you might fall back a little bit, like, damn. But if she say, hey, from up until now, I haven't really been in that many long-term relationships, then she been out here getting her fuck on. So 30, 40 dudes ain't nothing over a 14 years lifespan of fucking. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, now if I meet her and she 20 and she got a high body count, it's like, whoa, girl, you've been popping that all over. Like, that's a little much. You know what I mean? So it depends on the time frame where you meet her, and it also depends on her life experiences. Like if she had long-term relationships, her body count going to be low. If she was out in these streets for 20 years, she could have fucked 100 dudes. You know what I mean? And it's not
okay. I see what you're saying, but even with all that, even with you was out there doing it and fucking the world for 20 years or whatever, most people have that settle down moment. And what happens when you catch that person, in that settle down moment, and it's over. The past don't fucking count anymore. You're the future. Where does the past even fucking matter in your current? Unless you have an ego that is that bruised that it's, I can't deal with who she had in the past. That's where male ego and fucked up male ego, in my opinion, comes into play. To where you can't be man enough to just hit. Okay, that was their past.
My guy,
it's a new future.
I agree with you, man. I remember I wanted to talk to this chick, and this wasn't too long ago. This is after you know, I got divorced and everything. And she told me, and I don't even know how this conversation came up, and I wish it didn't, but she told me her body count. She was like, she can't remember how many she had. And I was just like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to pause for a second, like, wait, you can't put a number? You can't quantify how many dicks was inside you? And maybe it's the whole anatomy thing, because it's like, you know, something is going inside you as opposed to me putting something inside of a woman. I don't know, but for ego, for like you said, for men and ego, we have a number. We may not be able to tell you the number. I can maybe not be able to tell you the number, but we all have a number where we're like, oh wait, no, that's too much. Like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you start thinking to yourself, like, I don't know, you know, yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough.
Here's where my ego kicks in. My ego kicks in. It's not the number that kicks in for me. Here's where it kicked in for me. All of my relationships that I've been in have been long-term relationships. Like I said, I lived with the stripper for 2 years. I was married for years. And now my situation with Brittany been going on 6-7 years. So all of my situations been long-term situations, right? So that keeps my body count low. Even if I had a sneaky link, not saying I did, but even if I did, that's 2. in a year, over years period of time, right? So here's where the number don't really bother me, but the experience does. Because now when I hear a woman with a high count, and I know that over the past 10 years, I only had about 4 Jones, and over the past 10 years, she's been out here getting busy, and she had about 20, 30 Jones, right? Now in my head, it's like, you did everything. You did everything. So my ego kicks in like she done had all kinds of niggas. She done had long, short dick. She done had the pussy eater. She done had everybody. She done had the ass ate. She done had everything on the sexual spectrum. And now for me, it's like, I don't even know what I could do. I can't offer this bitch nothing new. I can't take it down. I don't want to take it down, bro.
So Tyrone, you're exactly right. So now I've been told that some like a woman come to me and use the V word on me, and I was just like, whoa, I've never been called vanilla. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, oh yeah, you vanilla, and I'm just like, wait, what? You know what I'm saying? And it's
not the ice cream.
Word. So that fucked me up, and that was come from someone who I thought was vanilla. You know what I'm saying? And she came to me was like, yeah, I did this and that. I'm like, wait, you was on a ceiling fan, like what? You know what I'm saying? So
Corey, you've been waiting. Go ahead.
In the words of Dwayne Johnson, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. Now, if you've lived a whole life at some point, more power to you. But the question is, where are you now? Are you comfortable with your past? Are you ready to move past your past? Cool. You not vanilla? Good. I don't like vanilla.
I like vanilla.
I do. My favorite flavor ice cream.
What's wrong with vanilla? I love vanilla.
What's wrong with vanilla? I just know there's plenty of other flavors. It's like Baskin Robbins. Yeah, I have vanilla, but I know there's more options.
Rocky Road. Okay, you like Rocky Road. Okay.
Hey.
He likes nuts.
Whoa.
Pause. but seriously, I've been with women in and around the sex industry, and it's like listen, I've soared with the eagles and I've slithered with the snakes. I'm like,
I got you. I got that.
There's two sides to the coin. Like, yeah, I know she'll be on webcam doing this, that, and the third, but then when she's with me, we're reading comic books in the comic book shop, grabbing coffee. Like, there's so much more to a woman than her fucking body count.
Word.
Okay, so I have a
and
question.
me being a nerd, all I look at is like, listen, if you have a body count, that means you got some more experience points than I do. Maybe. I'm like
no, and just to add on that, because that's exactly what it would be. Because I'm like, honestly, it went right past us, but I just kind of halfway celebrated 20 years total with my wife. 15 married, but 20 years total, you know.
Man.
Congratulations.
And so on a level of experience, I'm hella limited, because growing up, I didn't have shit in high school. I didn't get started technically to the age of 20. Okay. I didn't have shit in high school because nobody was feeling me like that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Or if it did happen, I got the "you're cute" butt. They like my friends.
You're so sweet.
Hey, yeah, you know. But I'm just, I say that, excuse the cough. But you know, I say that to say, yes, I speak from limited experience. But if I had to bring my wife on camera, she'll tell you she's happier than a motherfucker when it comes to that aspect of things.
That's what's,
you know what I'm saying? And so like I talk to people all the time when I can, I've talked to people over the years all the time when I can. And it's just like, yo, like, why can't it's a level of, yo, your past is your past. Like I said before, we're here now. Nigga, you want nigga here now. You know what I'm saying? This is where we're at right now. We're starting to build from this point here, not this point and backwards.
And you know,
Bring your experiences to the table to make from this point in here great. But whatever happened back there, so fucking what? Like that's what kills me. And
Bring the
people's
experience,
egos, my
don't
bad.
bring the baggage.
And right, yes. That's the key. Because I hear these conversations. Oh, and I'm gonna let you go after this. I hear these conversations from dudes, and it's just like one of the stories I heard was like, oh, like, you know, oh, new to a neighborhood, new to an area, but you meet this fine ass girl, you take her out, and then people are looking at her like, oh, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? If they were with her, so what? If she leaves with you, that's the goal. That's the end goal. You know what I'm saying? That's the name of the game. If you went in with her and she's leaving with you, fuck what every other person in their brain is thinking at that moment. It doesn't even matter because they are now back there. You know what I'm saying? This is where that weak, fragile ego that many of us men, I can't say me, but many of us men have, that it's like they allow this shit to bother them from past shit.
That's one of the biggest fugazis in the red pill movement. Like those real big egos can shatter to pieces over a single pluck.
Little tiny little joint, like little joint. But go ahead. Oh, you was gonna say?
It's no, I was gonna say, man. Like, you know, you had touched on it, and Corey as well. Like, you know, the ego is what fucks with most men. It's, you know, it's the times when you're sitting at home by yourself thinking, and your mind starts racing, and you're drinking and all of that shit, and you're like, yo, what the fuck, what the fuck she doing? Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And that's like the fucking Jenga piece. That's like moving a Jenga piece at the bottom of the fucking tower, and everything just toppling over. You know, that's what I was gonna say. So go ahead, Tyrone.
See, the ego part kind of been negated for me for a long time. Because like Dan said, when Dan said that he was in high school and the girls was going, you cute, but all this and all that. Let me tell you something. I was funny looking at motherfucking high school. I couldn't really talk that good because I had to go to speech classes with my lips and, you know, and my ears were really huge. My head didn't catch up to them yet. I never went through puberty, so my voice sound bitchy. You know what I mean? And I had a car and I had a couple dollars in my pocket, and the girls didn't care about none of that. They would rather mess with the dudes that had the swag and all this and all that, right? But here's where the ego got them dudes in trouble and got me in on it, because when I grew up in the era of these dudes that was so swagged out and had so much ego that they would tell their girlfriend, I ain't doing that. And I listened to those girls talk. I listened to them talk to their girlfriend. My boyfriend said he ain't going to do this. My boyfriend said he ain't going to pay for that. My boyfriend said he ain't going to eat no pussy and shit like that, right? And so me, I'm air hustling these girls and I'm hearing all them things they saying they man wouldn't do. And I'm like, look, if I want to get on these blogs, I got to do this shit. So I'm going up on them. I eat pussy. I will take you to the movies. Your nails ain't done. I got some money for your nails too, homie. And even though
Tyrone turned into Joe.
Yeah, but even though I had to fuck them in the shadows, and you know what too? The ego didn't bother me because I was fucking them girls in the shadows. You know what I mean? I go to their cribs, know where they live at, fuck on them, do whatever I want to do with them. And them girls wouldn't even speak to me at school. I would go back to school, hey, and they act like they don't even know me, turn their head and everything. So the ego never bothered me because that's how I, you know what I mean? So I've been dealing with that.
Yeah. You was on the opposite. You were on the opposite end of the person that had the ego. And that's why I said you turned into Joe. Do all the things your man won't do.
While that dude is in there pressed up on the locker room with his girlfriend pressed up on his chest, I got to pay her panties at my crib. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just like, it's cool, homie. You can do what you want. But the other thing too is that with the ego, you have to be mature about the body count, because there are times where you're gonna be in an intimate situation where she's gonna be like, hey, I've been with dudes that eat this ass and I like it. So what's up with that? And you got to have that conversation and say, hey, I'm willing to do some of those, because that experience going to come out. And she's going to want some of those things that she experienced that you might not never done before. If you got to be man enough to have those conversations and man enough to say, hey, baby, listen, this is a level that I'm not willing to cross. I don't want to put my lips on your ass. But
and that's
just, you know what I mean?
That's just about proper communication,
right?
With a potential sexual partner. That's just some shit that, especially, all right. First and foremost, the red pill community targets young kids, teens, and young adults
that are weak-minded. Add that part too.
By default, they're weak-minded just because of how they've been raised over the last 20 years.
They think that they're strong-minded, but they're weak as fuck. They are weak as fuck.
They have no testicular fortitude because they haven't been shown what that means. So they're very prime targets. And this is and they're fed a lot of bullshit by these guys. By these guys who grew up very hurt, have nothing but contempt for women, and see them as nothing more than an object for some sort of gain to tell another guy, hey, you ain't got this. Mm-hmm. And that's really not how the world works. It works like that for them, but at the same time, look at their lives. They're not really fulfilled. They're not happy. Like that, like that's Andrew Tate is one of the most unhappiest motherfuckers I've ever seen. And I've watched a couple hours of him, including the documentary Vice did just before he got arrested. This guy who supposedly has all this money, all these women, this nigga looks absolutely fucking miserable.
Well,
and I'm just like, well, look how you treat other people. So it kind of just bounced back. So
see, some of that I kind of understand on the levels of, well, how were you treated back in the day? But then again, that comes to like a level of maturity, a level of growth, and a level of understanding of like, yo, okay, I was treated like this. I'm not going to allow myself to be treated like this no more. But that doesn't mean I have to now go turn around and play the supervillain and be like that to everybody else just because they did it to me.
That's because they never learned. This is what happens when you never learn to be better. You go through your trials and tribulations. You come out with gains, but you still have a chip on your shoulder. And you take that chip and you turn it into a sword, and then you're just attacking the next generation with it because that's how you survived.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to recognize the fact that, bro, you're a little mentally fucked up. Like, you gotta admit that. You need to be okay with yourself. And one of the biggest things that the red pill community likes to avoid: accountability and therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Because
more accountability than therapy. Because a lot of therapy. Yeah, I feel you, but a lot of therapy could be avoided with just accountability.
They need the therapy to understand why they need to take accountability.
Right. The ones that don't understand the accountability angle need the therapy, but the ones that understand and can be accountable, I think that's just adding to an adult walking a straight line and understanding, hey, I fucked up. Like, it's as simple as, like, I'm a person that is like, I'm not against saying, yo, even if I wild out on you and I screamed at you or whatever, and then I catch myself for being wrong, yo, my bad, I'm sorry. I took it too far. It's a level of accountability within myself that I understand. Yo, I fucked up in the moment. I'm gonna step back and correct it.
Another big thing when it comes to this community, they're all for bashing women. But if a guy steps to them and has a counter argument, it's kind of like house party. Yo, DeMayor, I smell something. You smell something? Yo, you smell something? I smell pussy.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched so many videos of these red pill guys go full throttle, guns blazing on a woman who just happens to have a counter opinion to them. But
that may be valid.
That may be valid. But whenever a man is in the same conversation and brings the same counterpoint, they either don't recognize it or try to just brush it off and move on to another subject.
It makes you question them. Do they even really like women? Or do they just like women for what's between their legs and that's it?
That's exactly what it is.
This is what I hate as far as the accountability part is concerned, because I had a lot of dudes tell me like, oh, I'm not taking these women on no dates, you know what I mean? And if I take her to Chili's or if I take her out on a date, I expect the fucker and all that. And so that's cool. That's how you live your life.
That's what hoes are for.
But if you take a girl on a date, you expect the fucker, that's cool, that's how you live your life, right? But then they don't want to take accountability to the fact that, okay, you take a bitch to Chili's and you want pussy from her and you get pussy from her. You think that's winning.
A hoe, a bitch.
And then I tell you that I took a girl to somewhere like Long Acres or somewhere better, or I took her on a little trip, I flew her out somewhere, right? And that's on me, right? But here's the accountability though. I'm not just fucking her. Because guess what? You fucking all these girls that you taking to Chili's, but your drawers is dirty. You eating out every day. You're not getting home cooked meals. You can't call her when you lost your job. You can't go sleep on her couch when your mama throw you out because you lost your job. You know what I mean? It's other things that come with a real woman that these dudes don't want to talk about. All they want to talk about is, can I get the pussy? But it's not about that though. I take a girl somewhere, I got more value in her than just getting the pussy, right? So while you saying, oh, I done fucked one, but I'm living better than you, Holmes. Because I can get a home cooked meal, I can get a couch to sleep on, I can get a shoulder to cry on, I can get somebody to pay a bill for me. If
I understand and get your point. Now, quick side note: the difference between bitches and hoes, bitches have the audacity. Let me now first mostly be clear. Hoes, you guys are integral. You are part of the infrastructure of our social way of life. I'm all for hoes. No,
I can dig it. I'm laughing because it sounds funny, but I can dig it.
The Wild Wild West that's supposed to be hyper masculine, its foundation was working women. So do with that what you will. Hoes are a very important part of our economy and social space. So I will never.
And for clarity, we're not saying this in a disrespectful way either. No. It's not being said in disrespectful.
No, I'm not saying in a disrespectful way. Hoes are an integral part of the community and the economic diaspora. Look, now, bitches have the audacity. a bitch is someone that you will do something for, and then with a straight face, they'll be like, "Oh, well, you didn't do such and such," and you just like, "Bitch." When you said that, I just wanted to clarify it because that's something that I look at. I can't. I forget what movie it was. I think it was Hustle and Flow. He was like, "I ain't never called no hoe no bitch."
Here's the reality of it too. Know your worth works both ways.
That part.
When you tell women know your worth, right? They think, oh, I'm worth this, that, and the other. But no, you're a hoe. So you're not worth all of these other things. Like I said, if I can't bring my laundry to your crib, you're not worth certain things that you trying to act like. Like if this just about fucking, that's your worth right there. So I'm gonna treat you like that's your worth if it's just about fucking. But if I can bring my laundry to your house, if you can do a little more than the fucking, then you're worth a little more of my time, my attention, my space, my money, my attitude. You know what I mean? So it's stand tall on it, but know that you only worth pussy.
I was gonna give a little pushback on like, yeah, but can't you go to the laundromat? You know what I'm saying? Like, but hold on. But he clarified that within the rest of his statement because, hey, can I come kick it with you and do laundry at your crib? And that in turn is, yo, I'm coming to really just spend time with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's the clarity. Because the pushback could be, nigga, go to Clean Rights open. I'll give you my laundry card. Go over there, and then come see me when you're done. but to what Tyrone said, that's the aspect of, yo, I want to come kick it with you. Do you mind I do some laundry while I'm there? It's all about also when you think about it like that, it's how you ask it.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you ask it too. I totally felt what you were saying though, Tyrone. Though your face is like, this thing is like, I'm not against you because I'm connecting the dots. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying like there's also a way in delivery because the hoes and the bitches is getting thrown around a lot right now, and that's cool because Corey defined it
But
in a way.
we had to clarify the difference between the hoe and the bitch.
and we're not trying to do it on a disrespectful.
And we're not
language.
disparaging either.
Exit.
I'm just
this
saying.
is just take a conversation. Oh, go ahead. You've been a little low on this. Oh,
we need both of them. That's what I was going to say.
That was your safe. That's your safety line.
We need both of them, man.
There's a reason why the force needs balance, right?
Yes.
We all still the force needs balance.
Now, here's another thing, especially for the folks who may just be learning more about Red Pill as we're talking, and they might want to do their own research and check out some of these guys. Please pay attention to the folks that they try to generalize that speak for all women. More than likely, they're sitting on these podcasts and they're only there because they are pretty and they were not prepared to have any sort of real conversation. Which the men on these podcasts are normally well prepared.
The stale and unmonetized. How about that? That's how we'll call them. The stale and unmonetized. Especially those types.
Yep, especially ones like, I'll say their name, Fresh and Fit.
That's why I said we're not going to say their name. We'll call the stale and unmonetized.
Oh no, fuck that. It's something that burns me personally when it comes to them. It's like I got it.
And I don't know them. We don't know them dudes. We don't know them. Let me just say that too. I don't know them at all. But I refuse to dig into their platform because of the shady, dumb shit that they do. And you could see it. They get like Corey said, they get the quality of woman who's just gonna sit there and think, hey, I'm here because I'm pretty and they're gonna let me. They talk right over you all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
They sit there and embarrass y'all all the time and make y'all look like shit, which goes back to Tyrone's comment of know your worth.
So okay, so on the other side of the coin, though, what about dudes like the Family Feud guy? Dude on BLS.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, you do.
Steve Harvey?
Steve Harvey.
All right.
The Family Feud guy. My bad. I thought it was a new podcast I didn't know about.
No. You know the guy. He's on his third marriage, second or third marriage. I lost count. And a couple of weeks ago, you don't even have
to bring it up. It was a rumor.
It was a rumor.
It wasn't true. It was a rumor.
That his significant other is doing her thing. And it's like, but my whole thing was before all that, who gave you the right to say that you're now this relationship guru? Like, my guy, you're on your third marriage. You know what I'm saying? Your daughter slept with half the industry. Your adopted daughter that slept with half the industry. Yo, take a seat, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, sit this one out.
Go ahead, Corey.
All right. Here's the thing.
Had his big mama arms flapping in the wind.
Steve Harvey pulls the same shit that Tyler Perry pulls. He plays up all of his positive things, and whenever he does it, he makes sure that black and white women see it. So when all the positive stuff is happening, that's all they see. And when they see that shit, that's when you have the best-selling book that doesn't make sense. The movie based off of it. Then you have him getting another radio show. Then the TV show. But as soon as you start picking his shit, his team steps in, and you'll just see more random cool Steve Harvey bits. It's like
that's how you play the game, the money game, though.
Yeah,
to keep
that's
it
how
up.
you play the money game,
But
the
that-
shell
but-
game.
But if you're not playing the shell game, you see the Fugazi. You see the Fugazi. It's just like with Tyler Perry. The second you step back and you're just like, yo, this nigga has a lot of issues. All of your films involve black women being fucked up in some of the worst ways you could ever write outside of slavery.
Sure. Speak on it.
I'm like, then in a lot of your movies, it's always light-skinned nigga versus dark-skinned nigga. And the dark-skinned nigga is always doing the most.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my main issue. Here's my main issue with somebody like Steve Harvey. I don't fuck with Steve Harvey, and I'll tell you why I don't fuck with Steve Harvey, because
I don't fuck
Steve
with that
Harvey-
Bernie Mac shit.
Steve Harvey, in reality, is the story of my fucked up life. Because in my life with women, and y'all know me, I'll always have made sure that I worked, made sure I had an ability to provide, made sure that I protected, made sure that I didn't disrespect them, made sure that I stayed faithful, didn't cheat. I did all the right things of being a man and being in a relationship and being a husband. And my shit still deteriorated. I still ended up in divorce based on me still doing all the right things, right? So when I sit up here and I look at somebody like Steve Harvey and I go, dude, you are on a level way higher than what level I could be on. As far as having money, as far as being able to provide, as far as being able to do all the things that a man's supposed to do, you're on a much higher level than me, right? And then you're on the radio and you're telling me things, I'm finding faults in myself. I'm finding faults in myself based on what this man said. And now I'm looking at my whole marriage and going, damn, if I could have said this, if I maybe did this in this situation, I'm like listening to dude. And then you go and look into his real life and it's like, dude, why, how the fuck, not to get on your third wife, how the fuck you ever got divorced? Just as you setting the standard for how men are supposed to behave in relationships and marriages and all that, and you divorced, dude? And now we don't know the story. So now what are we supposed to do? Is we supposed to sit up here and say that it was his wife's fault every single time, that his wives were doing things or whatever? And then he admitted he met Marjorie while he was still in a relationship.
Facts.
So dude, you did some foul shit on me. So it's like, I can't fuck with that because I was basing my life on you and living through you, and I still got fucked up. And now you want some other shit. So no.
But here's the thing, because I'm the one person who actually does appreciate Steve Harvey. I got my ups, and we all have our ups and downs with a personality like his and all that, whatever. I respect it. But also too, when it's a thing when you think about a person like him, you're looking at the messenger over the message sometimes. And sometimes you can lose the message because of who's the messenger.
Derrick Jackson.
And let's keep it real. Many of us learn off of mistakes. He's a guy who found a way to monetize his words off of his mistakes. So where it's like you can find some gems out of a person like that. Because like you said, Tyrone, of the living through or feeling like you're living through someone, you're living through their mistakes in a way. Like perfect example, bringing it back, not to put it on me, but bringing it back to me. And back in the day, well, I didn't have shit. But to this day, like most of my female friends, women friends from back then, it's like family now in a way. You know what I'm saying? Whether I speak to them, whatever or not, I still view them in the same esteem, same regard as I did when we met back then from high school to now. I used to be the advice guy. because knowing I didn't have or didn't go through a lot of shit like that, I learned through osmosis of everybody else's fuck ups around me. And I used to be able to help and be like, yo, like give points of views from angles that, yeah, I didn't go through it, but I've witnessed these fuck ups and use them like, yo, okay, I know not to do this. I know not to do that. I know to do this. I know to do that. And I come in from an imperfect place myself because I'm not, I mean, I'm a good husband. I can always strive to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, perfect example. Yes, I need to date my wife more. We need to go out more. But the flip side of it is money is always tight on my end, which then fucks with me mentally, things like that. You know, but on relationship ended certain things here and there, like I could be better. We all can always be better. You know what I'm saying? But I learned a lot of just to be able to get myself into the life situation I'm in now. I learned off of other people's mistakes and watched and how they fucked up. And so where the flip side is a little bit of petty to what we was talking about earlier, I sit back now and it's like all the people that was like, oh, I liked you, but, or, you know, people that I did like that didn't give me a chance and things like that. Now I'm sitting good and comfortable and trying to continue to build a life with somebody that I've now been with 20 years. While y'all been through 3, 4, 5 different people, never found that one stable one, divorced 2, 3 times, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ended up all right compared to, because I didn't carry them same egos. I've learned along the way to where, you know I still have to do better, but at least I try to work towards being better. You know what I'm saying? Goes back to the words of accountability and taking accountability is one of the biggest words we've said today within everything. You know what I'm saying? Within everything we've been talking about is just taking accountability. You know, so if you were somebody with a high body count, okay, that was my past. But like Corey said, don't bring the baggage along.
Bring the
But if you're the
experience.
bring the experience, but leave the baggage. But
Word. Act
some
like a
people,
virgin in his bedroom.
anyway, some people, no, bring that experience too. Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, what you talking about?
Wait, I'm gonna ask a question because I may be slow. I don't know if I'm not picking up what y'all putting down here, but how does body count have baggage? Because I'm thinking baggage and I think about what happened in your previous relationships, but there's no baggage with a body count. I mean, what's the baggage with a body count?
I guess Dan trying to say the experience.
I said it before. The baggage, part of the baggage is if you carrying that non-mean and you spread it along. You know what I'm
not only that, but
that's baggage.
also there could be emotional baggage with previous sexual partners.
Yes.
Stuff that could end up that a lot of times people never really reconcile over and end up carrying over to other relationships.
Yes.
But that's part of your relationship with other people. That's not part of the sex thing. You know what I mean? Like
that's. Go ahead, Corey.
There can be things that happen in people's sexual experiences that could be definitely negative, but they've never fully expressed their feelings on it. So,
like,
they could
example. What if a woman went through a traumatic experience with the chocolate starfish?
Okay.
And then now, like, you're 5 or 6 years in, and it's like, hey, let's try something different. And the first time you try it, it just triggers something.
Mm-hmm.
That's that baggage. Keep going, Corey.
Chocolate starfish. I had to figure that one out. Okay.
Oh man,
took you a minute.
You don't know?
Right.
Come on.
Vanilla,
Biscuits
man.
album.
Vanilla,
Limp Biscuits album, Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog flavor. Yeah, I was gonna say the album was called Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water. You want to know what I found? It took like a year after the album to figure out. They was talking about the butthole and diarrhea. That's where I learned what the chocolate starfish was. But keep going, Corey. My bad.
There can be traumatizing things that happen in the bedroom that your partner may not ever have spoken on and never got through. So they could easily have mental relapses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, think about it. Think
Mhm.
about it. I literally came on camera with a paddle. So imagine if I had a partner who had a traumatizing experience, but then we're trying to play off that they were perfectly fine with me using it on them, and right before I swing, they have a mental break.
You start crying.
Well, Corey, I mean, you showed the paddle. I paid attention to it. That shit had fucking electrical tape wrapped around it and rope. So you put in work with that thing. So I'm sure that paddle done seen some stories.
But the important thing is
you put people through some fucking.
but the important thing is there were
Fucking
conversations that happened before this was broken out.
Before it was broken, period. That's why the tape is there. That's why the tape is
it
there.
hasn't been broken. It hasn't been
That's
broken
why the
yet.
tape is there. The tape is hot. The tape is hiding its emotional scars. That's what
it's
it is.
Stronger than Hacksaw Jim Duggan's 4x4. But seriously, there were. But seriously,
before we go in the bedroom, I need to sign here and here
Right.
and here.
But yeah, there's a lot of sexual baggage that can come along with folks, even if it's not S&M. They might just have an issue with. They might have a traumatic experience with a particular position. They might be uncomfortable with letting you eat them out.
Yeah,
but
more than just the knees hurt.
Yeah, no, like
I've experienced that.
It's all about communication.
You can get suffocated one time. You know,
Go ahead,
that's traumatic when you got a girl that's literally trying to sit on your face, and you like, oh, you gotta help out here because I ain't breathing right.
Well, yo, I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, you know, speaking on my behalf, I'm used to I'm used to that. But when I remember, you know, I was trying to do that, whatever, and to me, that was part of the vanilla realm. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, no. And that kind of turned me off a little bit because I'm like, yo, I'm just, you know, trying to please you just like how you please me.
But here's the thing: was there any conversations before y'all started in the bedroom?
I didn't think there needed to be conversation because I thought that was high school shit. Like,
yeah, that's
you know,
and in some cases, yeah, but yeah, there should be some sexual conversations just so you can feel what part of the waters they're in. You know, just because.
Go ahead, Tyrone, because there's something I wanted to say to that.
Waters, that is like waters touching your toes. That's like going to the beach and the water's brushing up in your toes. That's not going in the deep end or none of that.
Not just knee deep. She was double knee deep when she did the freak with me.
Go ahead, Tyrone, make your point. I wanted to say something off of that.
My point is that, see, this is why he's right about the sexual conversation, because for me, if I start going, you know, heading south from the breast and I start heading more south, if she stops me in my head, she knows she ain't. To me, it automatically goes through, oh, she ain't cleaning it up a little right. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like she don't want me down there because her hygiene ain't proper in the bottom. And now it could be something else. And my mind goes to, oh, she ain't clean down there. So she's trying to protect me from the, you know, she don't want me to smell it. She don't want me to taste it. You know what I mean? That's where my head goes, because for me, like said, that's a natural thing that happens during the sexual activity. So if it stops me from going down there, I automatically think like, oh, this bar's a little funky. She ain't washed up today.
and you know what?
Why are you in my bed then?
And you know what? To tie both of those,
I appreciate his honesty.
Hold on. Yeah, and to tie both of those points to what Corey said as far as the conversation is concerned, this is where it becomes generational. Because I said, Corey, you're younger than us. We're not much older than you, I think. How old are you? You just so you're actually close to the same era. you know, in a way. Let's just keep it like that. You're actually close to the same era. To where younger then, these things like on that level weren't talked about. It was just assumed, like Tyrone mentioned. The assumption is, oh shit, maybe she didn't clean up, or maybe I didn't clean up, and my dick stink, and she don't want. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just assumed in those times. Where nowadays, because these types of conversations are more open, are more fluid. Now the aspect of having said conversations of what you like, what you don't like beforehand seem to be more prevalent than just going in and just trying and
And
experimenting the what you like, what you don't like. That's what these brothers got to do in their younger ages of yo, you just tried. If you liked it, you continued. If you don't, you move on. If this person said no, if you were a person with respect, you move on from that no. And then it was never said, never talked about in that time. But nowadays people are more open to having said conversations.
I I was very nuanced growing up because I I hung around the guys. I was especially high school. I was a jock. I played football, but on the other side of me, there was the nerd side, and I did robotics. So I learned how to do research and look at the details. And a lot of my other time I spent hanging out with hanging out with my nerds, and a lot of the nerds were chicks. So just listening to them talk, hearing what I'm like hearing what's going on. And that's when I learned early that when it comes down to men and women, a lot of times, guys, we have no idea what they want. We just go by what we think they want. And a lot of
True
times,
indeed. True indeed.
women are just being complicit until they're comfortable enough to take their own autonomy and start doing whatever the fuck they want.
True indeed. And
And,
there's a
and
rabbit hole conversation within that because of years of quote. If you spin it into a today type of scenario,
Yeah.
traumatic experiences, or just you know what, they never grew into some things like that.
I would love for us to come
Or
back
just
to
their
this
fetishes.
subject again with some female perspectives in the conversation.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know what else though? That's what I'm talking about though. That where it goes back to the ego. All of us are mature enough to say that we can have these conversations with a woman. But these young boys out here today, if a woman like it's hard for a woman to go to a young boy and go, "Hey man, you ain't doing it right in the bedroom. I'm gonna need a little bit more of this. I'm gonna need a little more something." Because these young boys will go, "Well, if Johnny could fuck you, better go fuck Johnny." You know what I mean? They get their ego involved when
Johnny will.
she's not trying to insult you. What she's saying is, "I'm not happy with what's happening in this bedroom, and I'm giving you the opportunity to make it right between me and you." But they take it as, "Oh, you trying to insult me? You trying to say I don't put in this dick work?" You know what I mean? And they get
And
That
it
part,
goes-
because if that was the case, she would have went ahead and fucked the next dude
That's what
anyway.
I'm saying. She wouldn't have talked to
and
you
it
about
goes and it
Yes.
goes the other way, and it goes the other way too, because if you said guy is like, oh, she's questioning how I'm doing it, a lot of guys with the fucked up ego is just gonna be like, well, you know what, I'm gonna find somebody that just conforms to my way, and that's it. And that's the
That's the
fucked
other
up
side of the
ego
coin.
part, where
That's
the
the other side of the
ego
coin.
where the ego doesn't allow you to open your mind up and change.
You know what you do?
I-
You know what I used to do to women though? Here's how you get the conversation with women in the bedroom, right? Put them there. That's what I used to do. When I used to mess with a girl, right? If she wanted to be on the bottom all the time, it would just be that one day I'd bear hug her and roll her ass right on over. Hey, what you doing? Hey, you ain't gonna be on put in some. You gotta put some work in. Or if I'm hitting from the back and she's doing the little lazy lay down shit, I will grab her waist and pick her ass up and tell her, "Hey, this is the position I need you in, honey. This is how you get down." You know what I mean? And that's how I had those conversations. I put them there, and then when they go, "What you doing?" This
You
is how I-
made them conform. That's what
Right,
you
this
did.
is
You
what
made them
need to do.
conform.
If you can't do this the next time, we're not gonna go here because what you doing ain't proper for me.
Big
I get
facts.
it. I get
Yeah.
that.
Understood. This is conversation though that it's like it goes both ways. And when you're some, but we're the men here talking, and we're talking to you other men that it's like open your fucking minds. Just open your minds. You gotta. And another part of the male ego that kills me is people can't drop their guard. Like I love playing the pause game here. Everything ain't a pause. You know what I'm saying? Everything, it ain't gotta go as far as ain't no man touching nobody other booty hole if
Right.
you ain't gonna like,
I'm
But
about to say, pecking his paws, nigga. Pecking his paws.
yeah, I know that's facts. That's facts. But but I'm saying, but it's like it's like dropping your guard that everything ain't gay. If you want to put it in those plain ass words, everything ain't gay. And I'm not saying, I'm not leading to go get your booty hole licked. I'm sorry if this is too graphic for YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying all that, but I'm just saying like dropping your guard is just releasing your ego is what I'm trying to get at. Dropping your guard some to just release your ego, to be open to what the woman that you want to deal with is thinking. Try some shit. Not. We're not talking about the boop boop, but we're just saying, open yourself. You get what I'm saying.
Wait.
Without going there.
Listen, no, we're adults.
We're not Hollywood Squares either.
No, we're not Hollywood Squares. But you know what? Try some shit. You might like it, you might not. But that's what you do in your bedroom.
Exactly.
Like, and no one should be judging you for what goes on in your bedroom.
Thanks.
But too bad we live in a world where everybody does, because people think what the next celebrity does, we need to know what's going on in their bedroom.
I was on the bus the other day, and this dude came on and he was talking to the driver. He had some sort of rapport with him, and he was bringing up some weird thing about President Obama having a gay lover.
Well, he's on that train.
And I listened to this man talk for like 10 minutes, a solid 10 minutes. And then I hit him with one question. I was like, I have a question about all that. He's like, yeah. What does that do for you exactly? He was like, what do you mean? I'm like, for the 8 years Obama was in office, you don't have it. It seems like you don't want to talk about the policies, the drone strikes, the way he had to fix the economy, but you're really worried about who he was fucking. I was like, tell me that doesn't sound off. Because at the end of the day, he could have been fucking anybody, but it doesn't fucking matter.
And he probably turned around and was like, yo, fuck you, nigga. We wasn't even talking to you anyway.
He was like, well, it's a trust issue. I was like, politicians lie. So the fuck what? I was like,
politicians lie to us all the time.
I'm like, it's a politician's job to lie. The question is, are they good enough for you to believe the lie?
Mm-hmm.
That's where the real shit kicks in.
And if Obama was playing in booty hole, that he wasn't playing in yours. So what does it matter?
Precisely. No,
that's something along that same kind of perspective, right? I was walking in the street and I was fucking rocking out to the fucking Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion Bongos video.
Hey,
I was watching that Bongos video on my phone, just rocking out, and some dude said something to me about watching that, right? And he was like, "That's a little suspect." I'm like, "Okay, so I'm watching the video with some sexy women on here shaking ass and talking about all the shit that they do in the bedroom, and that's a little suspect to me. I think you're a little suspect for not watching. You know what I mean? For not watching this video."
Like watching Cardi B shake that ass is sus. I'm super sus. Why are you listening to
Cardi B? Cardi B is telling me all the things I want a woman to say, and she's doing all the things I want a woman to do. So yeah, I
Facts.
like that shit.
I'm a Cardi B
That- that-
stan. I love that ratchet ass
That
woman.
dude probably would rather watch fucking Hammer in his tiger drawers doing pumps in the bump than watch
Yeah,
a
pumps in
fucking
the
video of
bump.
just then watch just a video of Meg and Cardi. Like, you're
But that-
bugging, dude. Like,
but that was
you would
crazy.
rather watch fucking Hammer in the banana hammock, the tiger stripe banana hammock. You would rather watch that shit than Meg and Cardi. You're fucking bugging, whoever
I
you
was
were.
so confused how he was trying to assault my sexuality for watching that video and being in. I was dancing.
It's dumbass. It's dumbasses like that. I like to fuck with all day. Like, I used to do when I used to do comedy. I had this bit where I was just like, guys are so worried about what's straight and what's gay, overlooking some of the gayest shit they watch. I was like, first and foremost, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of professional wrestling. But if you just described it to someone who never seen wrestling, it sounds like some of the gayest shit you'll ever hear. I was like, two grown men oiled up in onesies. One comes out in a red and yellow feather boa, the other one in
Exactly.
a almost peacock style robe. And his saying is, woo!
Yo, and funny enough, like, I never got into stand up like I wanted to, but at least 20 years ago, I still got the Notebook. That's why, and the shit that I wrote in it is still relevant to this day. I let off
What's
a bit
stopping
that I
you?
was, I don't know, but I let off a bit,
Is
and
that
I'll
what
reveal
scares
this to y'all now. No, not really, because you see what I do with the panels. I can
know.
talk in public settings, but I don't know. I don't know what it is, but we'll get there one day. But I let off the bit that I was writing. Every man is at least 0.1% gay.
Okay.
And that's where I'll leave that at that. Because you think that right there, there's so many, you just said it with wrestling. And there's so many other rabbit holes at that little point that can go that'll make somebody's fucking ego crush. Just demolish somebody's ego.
I'm not gonna lie.
Demolish somebody's ego.
I'm saying it now. I am gonna use that line.
No, you better not. Please don't.
Wait.
Don't disrespect me like that.
I got a wrestling rabbit hole. Me and my daughter just had this conversation 2 days ago, literally, right? She was talking to me, and I said something in reference to a man grabbing another man's balls, right? And she was like, "Oh my God, Dad, pause!" And she was going crazy, and I was like, "Men have had their hands on my balls a lot throughout my life," and she didn't understand what I was saying. You don't know. When you wrestle as a kid, to do a body slam, you have to touch the man's balls. You have to. There's no doubt about it. There's no way getting around it. To scoop slam a man,
you hip toss, man. You hip toss. You hip toss.
You say you ain't gotta get it right there.
No, but you gotta. You scooped it. Yo, man, if you gotta you doing the scoop slam correctly.
If you were gorilla pressing somebody, not body slam.
Scoop slam. You scooping the
You
ball.
hook them around.
Listen,
yo, think of the power bomb. Think of I was a center. Niggas' hands is up my ass. Niggas' hands is up my ass. Okay.
I don't know about that anymore.
Centers is getting fouled all the time.
But you see the rabbit hole. You see the rabbit hole of the conversation of niggas is 0.1% gay.
Dan, I thought you was left tackle. I didn't know you was a center, Dan.
I've been telling y'all I was a center. Come on now. Come on now.
Everything.
Come on. But I'm just saying, like, it's shit like that it's like, yo, like, I'm thinking of like my father talking about like just on some like self-defense shit. Like, tell an old man to grab you right in the nuts to get you off of them, and they'll talk about, yo, I'll rip them shits off like your fucking Kano going in the reach for the heart type shit. Like,
yeah.
You know, and y'all watch porn.
Shit. Bloodsport. Watching Jean-Claude Van Damme punch Bolo in the dick. That shit was traumatizing for at least 10 years.
I didn't see that part.
Shit, yeah, I bet you would, but fuck that.
You know what I'm saying? But see, but what we just displayed here, not to try to like But to put it in a bow, like what we just displayed here is that dropping of the ego, the
Yeah.
dropping of some level of fragility, to where I hope whoever's listening to this, I know niggas is gonna be like, nah, fuck that. Yo, these niggas is wilding.
You
That's
don't
cool.
want to use the word safe space, but you know what but you get what we're saying.
No, I'm not even. We're not using the safe space thing because we're just a grown adults
Yeah,
having the conversation.
but that's
I
the
feel
thing.
like
Other
this is more
adults
like
they
real
say they
shit.
need to find a safe space. I'm like, no, the safe space is just you being comfortable with talking about whatever you
Real
want.
shit.
That's it. And that exactly, Tyrone, is just sometimes you gotta have conversations on real shit. And sometimes you gotta understand as a man, like I said, yo, everything ain't gay. Ain't nothing wrong with gay people. Ain't nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing wrong with that. If it ain't for you, it ain't for fucking you. That's just it. Let it be there, and that's it. You ain't gotta go bashing. You ain't gotta go criticizing. You ain't gotta go ridiculing. It ain't
Yo,
your lifestyle.
a
Fuck it.
good gay
But
friend
also,
hooks you up
if
with a lot of bad bitches. I'm gonna say that.
that part, but reality is niggas need to drop their egos. Just drop your fucking egos a little bit. It doesn't make you less of a man. It just might open your world up to a lot more shit that it's like, yo, hey, I didn't think I would like this shit, but I would. And it's not talking sexual, just sexual.
No, just
It's
life
just the,
in
the whole
general.
scope of everything. Yes. It's just the whole scope of life in general. Like, yo, let it down some. Let it down some. Don't be afraid to
Facts.
apologize. You know, if you fucked up, don't be afraid. Yeah, you could stand. If you want to stand on it, stand on it. But if you know you fucked up, own that you fucked up. It's shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's things like that. It's like own that you fucked up.
The
You know what I'm
world is
saying?
in 4K, but a lot of y'all view is so narrow you only see 1080p.
Not even. The world's in 4K, and some of these niggas still got fucking big back tube televisions.
Zenith, fucking Quasar.
Not the big bang.
Oh,
Oh,
Hashitashi.
oh.
Hashitashi.
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 The fucking Magnavox.
Oh shit! What happened to that boy?
What was you gonna say, Tyrone? And then we gonna wrap this up.
Nothing. I was just no, I ain't had nothing to say for real.
Okay, but yeah, man, y'all get where we coming. Y'all better get where we coming from this. And this was fucking fire for the first time we decided to dive down that weak ass manosphere.
And we just we only got to like one level of it.
Yo, I
That's
ain't
it.
gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. Yo, you brought it up. I was like, word? I was like, you want to talk about word? Okay.
because that conversation of body count and the goofiness of niggas with egos worried about the woman that's on their arm at that moment in time and what was prior to. Fuck what was prior to. Make their future better.
Mm,
That's really
like
what it is. Make their future better.
moving
And
forward.
you know what? Because I was thinking about this, next week, Corey, you can come back if you want to, and hopefully everybody's there. Because now we're gonna have this, because that as I was thinking about this whole time, now we're gonna have this conversation of what is a quote unquote real man.
Mm, should be fun.
And
Oh
Tyrone
shit!
he started with the shaking of the head before he started laughing. We
Yes,
ain't going there.
Should
We're
be
gonna
fun.
save we are going to save this
Tyrone there.
conversation
Let's
for
get
next week.
So
down to
next week.
business to
You know what
defeat
I'm saying?
the
Because that's
hunger.
another level of goofy that we can dive down. It's another level of goofy we can dive down. But when we get there,
I'll make a
we'll get there.
man out of you.
Corey, as a guest, you know what to do. Wrap it up, B. Wrap this shit up.
Um, uh, First and foremost, I want to thank you guys again for inviting me, allowing me to come back on. Had a real good time talking to you guys today. And for you folks who did enjoy my anecdotes, you can check me out at Amerime Media. The name is right there. We have a YouTube channel as well as an Instagram and a Facebook page. We mainly stick to the realm of of nerd stuff, video games, comic books, movies. But every once in a while, I'm always able to deep dive into other things, and that's what you'll find there. But clearly, I'm ready to have any conversation, and I want to thank Starting Five Podcast once again for allowing me to come on today. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Okay. Someone, you ready?
Actually, no. Oh, you came last. You go. My bad.
All right. So
It's supposed to
I'll
go in
real
order
quick.
of who showed up.
My fault. I'll go real quick. As I'm listening to my boy Corey, I'm on IG, ESPN, and shit. Real quick. Sean Payton once again played himself talking about Tua Tagovailoa would eventually be benched. He went 23 for 26, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and beat the Broncos 70-20. But that's neither here nor there. What the fuck
70
do I
to
know?
20?
70 to a Madden score, 70-20.
What the fuck?
Okay,
In the
so
NFL?
in the NFL.
Holy shit. This is
He
college
was
football
16 for
scores.
16. He was 16 for 16 when I
Good
turned it on.
God,
Okay,
that's
but real
who
quick,
had him
man.
playing on their fantasy team? Shit.
Yeah, man. I'm shocked he only went for 309 yards. But that's neither here nor there. Great show, man. I enjoyed the fuck out of myself, man. I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of volume on people's different opinions on what happened. Can't wait for next week's show. Hope to see my two brothers next week, Jamal and TJ. Yeah, man, great show. I enjoyed myself, man. Pass it off to Lisper.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a point of like how this is the reason why when I came on as a guest, when I started out as a guest, and when I got the chance to actually be part of this and actually be involved, like there was no hesitation in this because I realized right off the bat that grown men are here. You know what I mean? And grown men are here, not no kids, not no sucker shit, not no dumb shit. And that's why, like Dan said, we don't have to prepare for this shit for real if we don't want to. We can come on here, put something out here, and even if we're not knowledgeable, we can teach each other. We can go off each other. We can all voice our opinions. We can agree to disagree. We can fight. We can do whatever we want as grown men on here, and have it work out. We didn't even know what this man was prepared to say. And all of us had a perspective because we've lived life. We've had experiences, and we are able to articulate. You see what I'm saying? We able to really articulate what we're trying to say. We ain't talking nonsense. We ain't talking in code. We talking men to men, telling each other how we really feel about what we had to say. Like even with him, even with Corey saying the hoes and the bitches, right? We knew that it wasn't on no disrespect level. We knew that he wasn't disrespecting women. We knew what he was talking about in reference to that and all that. So it's like this is a very good space for somebody like me who's oftentimes getting misunderstood with the shit that I'm saying. So to have it with grown men that know where I'm coming from, have life experiences, you can't get that anywhere. And that's why when I was offered this opportunity, I knew that this was a spot for me to be comfortable in and a spot for me to, like Dan said, drop my ego a little bit, and get humble and be able to do these things. So I appreciate that. And this episode is a testament to why we can have these conversations on here.
Facts.
Word. And learning shit like I learned y'all on You got more than one album. You got music on the Wu-Tang video game CD, all that shit. But like Tyrone said, man, drop your fucking egos. Go to hooksrub.com and copy some shit. Drop your wallet on the homie Jared and use our code starting five. Get some money off your order. J1Con is coming. So I need everybody watching and everybody here to help pressing the fact that we are there with this year's Black Infinity Gauntlet, the Wrestle Talk edition. We're trying to talk up and making the Wrestle Talk space a little bit less toxic and a better space. Which, side note, if you really watch, a lot of the toxicity within the Wrestle Talk space is actually from the younger kids that need to be there, the younger ones that talk that shit. But hopefully hopefully we get a bunch of y'all out there to J1 Con this year. Corey better be kicking it with us this year at J1 Con
I
with
would
his
love
black.
to. I would love to be part of the Black Infinity Gauntlet.
The panel is already locked in, but we definitely need the help in pulling people into coming to watch and talk in the panel.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But we got the
sure.
panel already locked in. We just need help with pushing it now because we're about a month away. November 3rd to the 5th, Atlantic City, New Jersey at the Showboat. We all gonna be there. It's gonna be a dope time. But until then, go get your hooks rubs. Make sure you're still fucking with the Star 5 podcast. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Yes, sir.